What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Unrelated Sports Podcast. I'm Andy McConnell. With me is the guy who I actually beat this week in football picks, Mr. Cody Allstat. Cody, how are we feeling today?
I'm humble and lost, is how I'm going to say. Just trying to stay humble.
Okay, well that's good because I think everybody in Kansas City is trying to do that too.
Yeah, I don't know if they're, I don't know if some of them are doing a great job. Actually, I will say, I think that Mahomes handles it really well.
I think so too. I think his counterpart is maybe not as his tight end necessarily isn't handling it the greatest, but
No, he's not. But that's a song for another day.
yeah. But so, sir, how was your weekend? How are we doing?
I'm doing good. We had a really good weekend. Went to my brother's place, and my nephew qualified for AAU state wrestling. He got
They have
second
that?
at Waverly. AAU state wrestling?
Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got some stories from that, like from back in the day. Now, I didn't wrestle at AAU.
Yeah.
I just wrestled one or two tournaments a year until I was in middle school. But like, yeah, I knew some really good wrestlers that made their legs there or
So
got their legs.
do you do that in Des Moines then? Like, is the state actually in Des Moines
Yeah,
then?
the
Okay.
state wrestling tournament will be in Des Moines.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. No, I never knew that.
So, he qualified for that. He's my nephew Zion has turned into quite the little stud of a wrestler.
Cool. Congrats to
So
him.
it's kind of funny because my brother Brian, his dad, was not a wrestler. Me and my other brother were both wrestlers, but he was not. And I think he's always been more interested in basketball, and then his son ends up becoming a
A
pretty good
wrestler.
little wrestler. So it does help. They have a very good wrestler like lives down the block from them that has come to their house their whole life. So I think he kind of looked up to him.
Okay. Cool.
But
Yeah, Cody, if I ever have a son and he gets into wrestling, I'll just come to you.
perfect. I would love to work with him and talk about it.
Okay, good. Because
Today,
I have no expertise on that at all.
today I was watching or I was playing a game of college football on NCAA, and Aiden was sitting next to me, and I was like, Aiden, do you like football? No. Like, okay, well that hurt, but do you like wrestling? Yeah. I was like, okay, we're fine. Did mm,
Oh, you son of a gun. Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I thought I was going crazy.
No.
You
I'm
hit your
muted.
mic?
I did. I did. So what was the last thing you heard me say?
Uh, I don't think I heard you say anything after I said Aiden didn't that
Oh,
he liked wrestling.
okay, I gotcha. No, I was saying this. So does that mean he can become the new WWE champion of the world, like future WWE champion of the world?
Maybe
Just has to get a
a lot
cool.
of
He'd have to get a cool
because
wrestling name though.
that's true. The there are quite a few like pro wrestlers or whatever that got their start in um actual wrestling, like John Cena
Hmm.
and who was the one that won a gold medal with a broken neck?
Oh, Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle, yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So that's a good way. Gable Steveson tried, but he failed at the
Now,
WWE stuff.
I think I've asked you this before. Maybe I haven't. Did you used to watch WWE back in the day?
Not, I mean, I watched it a little bit, but more, I watched it with a certain friend of mine. Like
Okay.
he was really into it. So when I'd go to his house, we'd watch it and we would play the video games of it
Ooh,
and pretend to
yeah.
do that stuff. But like, I never really watched a lot of it on my own.
Okay. Yeah, I watched him like when I was like really younger, and then I couldn't watch anymore after I body slammed Austin. Um, but no, I was just gonna ask if you were more of a Stone Cold Steve Austin guy, if you were more The Rock.
I was Dwayne The Rock Johnson. My buddy was the Stone Cold Steve Austin guy.
Okay, yeah, more the Brock too, because Austin was more Austin, because you know his name's Austin, Andy's
Yeah,
brother.
Austin
So
316.
yeah, yep. So okay, I just thought I'd ask. Hey, you'd be proud of me. I watched wrestling on what Friday night, whatever night it
Yeah,
was.
it was a intense meet too, wasn't it?
I know. I
A little closer than it should have been.
Yeah, but hey, they beat Nebraska, so
They did. Nebraska knows how to blow a lead against Iowa.
yes, they do in any sport. It's always fun
um,
beating them.
it is. Yeah, Iowa has some holes to figure out, but there's they're wrestling Minnesota this week. That should be a good matchup or a good tournament meet also. Nebraska's actually moved up to I think fifth in the rankings with that loss. So
Who dropped
yeah,
down?
Ohio State I believe.
Okay. Wait, does that mean UNI's up to 4 then?
UNI is number 4. Doug Schwab has the Panthers up at number 4 in the
Oh,
NWCA rankings.
and they wrestle Iowa State, right? Don't they soon? I think they have a
They
duel
already,
against Iowa. Oh, they did.
I want to say they already did.
Okay, maybe they did. I thought I saw that there were some tickets and stuff for it, but that might have
Maybe
been in the
there is.
past.
They they're both they will be wrestling. They might wrestle each other still. I don't remember. They're they're both Big 12 teams in wrestling, so
Okay.
they will be in Oklahoma State. So I mean, those are 3 highly ranked teams. Now, Iowa State has kind of fallen off. They've had a lot of their guys go away on injured reserve and will take a medical red shirt.
Okay.
So they'll like Carter Faustick has been bumped into the starting lineup.
Okay.
He hasn't been a starter for them, so we'll see how that turns out. I mean, he's lost the last couple, but
Okay.
he had a really good pin against Arizona State, which is cool.
How surprised were you when I texted you about the fact that I
Oh,
was watching it?
I thought it was. I had to double check who was texting me. Honestly,
I know. I was watching it with Dad, and I got hooked. I couldn't help it.
it gets
Especially when it was close.
intense.
Well, especially when it's close like that. Like, in all
Yep.
honesty, if it was a blowout one way or the other, then I probably wouldn't have stuck
No,
around and watched. But
I don't blame you. Like Penn State, the meet before that was Penn State wrestled Michigan. Michigan didn't win a single match. It was
no, that's
pretty bad.
that's not
Yeah,
good.
it's not. Penn State's the best team of all time right now. I feel
Oh,
like that's
one of those teams.
yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Like they're literally it's literally the best team that there's no team ever that would beat it. It would take an
Dang.
all-star team to take. I wonder if you took the number 1 ranked guy or 2, depending on if Penn State um has the number 1 ranked guy, if the all-star team could beat Penn State right now.
That's insane.
So at 125, you'd have Matt Ramos from Purdue wrestling. He might get a pin. It would probably come down to bonus points. I mean, it'd be that close.
Wow. Yeah, that's nuts. That's absolutely nuts.
I'm gonna have to write that down later and figure out
Figure it out.
the
Okay.
scores.
You can tell me tomorrow then, and we can share it next week.
Yeah,
We'll remember to bring it up next week.
for sure.
Um,
But
hey, so speaking of Iowa beating Nebraska, the women's team beat Nebraska last night. 5th win in a row, I believe, for the
oh wow,
Hawkeye women. Yeah, they're playing good ball now, like really good ball. Um,
perfect. Good time to
Lu-
do it.
yeah, Lucy Olson, the big time transfer that they got from Villanova. I don't know when that happened, but basically from the second half of that upset win over USC on, yeah, she's played like a totally different person, like a lot looser, making shots left and right. It's kind of fun. It's fun to watch.
Kind of like shades of Caitlin Clark again.
A little bit, but just different on how they
Yeah.
conduct things and how they like. Caitlin's was more long bombs and her passing and stuff. Lucy can her passing's good, but just her driving to the basket is and her mid range is really good.
Okay.
So, hey, Cody, I forgot to mention. Are you excited? It's 5 days away from when we record this podcast from the Daytona 500.
Can't wait.
You know, my mom was wondering if you were actually a legit NASCAR fan or not. She actually thought you were, and I said, no, I annoy you every time I say this.
I can always tell you I used to be,
I know, that's what I told her.
and it maybe there's a chance for it, but I don't think that the way NASCAR is run right now, I don't think I could be a fan. Like the structure of it's not
I can understand that.
conducive to bringing on new fans.
Yeah, they don't think that. They think this is the right way to get new fans in and yada, 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 yada. Their leadership sucks. But,
Have they done their NASCAR like their full swing series yet? Has that happened?
like, for this year, no, because it doesn't come out till April. You know, like when we're already 2 weeks into this, or 2 months into this upcoming season. Makes total sense.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I don't.
How many seasons have they done?
Just one. They did last year. Or,
Okay,
or,
maybe
te- or the
maybe
two,
I'll.
technically the season from 2 years ago. Like, they did the one over the
Okay.
2023 season. Um,
Oh,
yeah, so
so this season's one will come out for last season.
yeah. I mean, that's how they do
Yes,
it, but
I get it.
it would have been better to release it like prior to either the 500
Yeah.
or prior to the Busch Clash. But I don't know if that's a Netflix thing or if that's more NASCAR, because NASCAR has a lot more hands in all their media rights compared to the other racing series, and yeah, that's where they get into trouble. That's why like Fox is putting out these awesome commercials and promos for the Indy 500 since they call
Yeah,
it
I
IndyCar now,
was.
and they just put out the same one commercial for the Daytona 500. Like nothing about any of the drivers or anything. It's yeah,
I was gonna say that like the media campaign for the Indy this year seems really good.
yeah, because
Um,
IndyCar basically said Fox do your thing and promote the living daylights out of that race and the drivers. Like you promote your stars. It's kind of helps.
and
I
they
don't know if you
did
know
a
that or
good
not.
they did a great job of it. It made me like look
I don't.
into Indy a little bit.
Well, because I think they showed all three commercials at one point during the Super Bowl, either before, or
Yeah,
after, or before, during, or after. Um, yeah. So IndyCar on Fox promotion, good. NASCAR on Fox promotion, bad.
that's so backwards.
Yeah, everything that NASCAR does is backwards. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna be honest. Um, just one quick thing. I do think not just quite homerism, but I think my guy Ryan Blaney, the driver of the number 12 car, wins the Daytona 500. I think
Okay.
he's been Fords have been really fast at the big super speedway tracks, and I think Blaney's
Okay.
due. And also NASCAR needs one of their bigger names to win the 500. They've had kind of like upset winners the last like 3-4 years. You need your marquee. I mean, the upset winners are good, but you need your marquee names to win.
Yeah.
And then I think a guy by the name of Christopher Bell, he drives the 20 car. He's probably the second best driver in the series this year. He probably he's my pick to win the title.
Okay.
So just a quick little
Because you
preseason
said
predictions.
Kyle Busch is the best.
Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson
Yeah.
is the
Yeah,
best driver.
Larson and Bell will run anything, anywhere. Like they'll run
Okay.
pavement, dirt, you name it, and they make everything go really fast. Like,
It's
so,
good.
so yeah, I'm excited. I obviously, as you know, I've been counting down Daytona for the last like 64 days. So we're almost there. Weather permitting, we're almost there.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
What the weather does seem to affect that race quite a few times.
well, last year, and I remember because there was just this big
Oh, it was
Doppler map
terrible.
of the U.S. It was only raining in one part of the U.S. On Daytona 500 Sunday last year, and that was right in South Florida. The whole rest of the country was dry. So if anybody has like a drought that where they're at, who's listening to this, just schedule a NASCAR race. You'll get rain there, no problem.
Perfect.
So
Should have had one in California.
yeah. So hey, do you have an NBA update for us? I know you love to give us those.
I do. The NBA is still horrible. Just the worst.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And that was our NBA update, brought to you by Cody.
That's me.
That's you. Let's see
Let's
what else
see.
went on this week.
Wrexham won a game today for like they're still in third in the on their table, and today was a game for the EFL trophy.
The
They
European
won
Football League.
1-0. Must be.
I don't know. That's just a shot in the dark.
He's probably correct. They had they won the quarterfinal game. So
Okay.
1-0 over the Bolton Wanderers. I wonder where Bolton is.
Yeah, suck it, Bolton. Wrexham's awesome.
Bol- Bolton is also in League One.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
I wonder. I don't know where they are on that. Oh, Bolton's ranked 8th in that. So
Oh, okay. So nice, solid win though.
yeah,
Cody, do you watch any golf at all? But this weekend,
I watched a little bit of it.
a little bit on Sunday.
A little bit on Sunday.
Were you speeding by chance?
I was watching Speed every chance I got. Dude,
Oh, Jordan Spieth.
his putter looked fantastic.
Is it too early to say that he's going to win the Masters? Like, can I just
Probably
already say that?
you can say it.
Okay. I mean, a couple weeks ago, or if you would have asked me what
You were,
last week, I would have said Rory was probably going to win it. Now,
yeah.
we're all aboard the Spieth train.
I mean, the Speed train is up and down. It's a roller coaster.
It is, considering
But
if it's somebody who hates roller coasters, but
he that shot that he had where he used the putter and put it right just past the bush. And
yeah,
then
he made
he
par.
parred it.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like on was it on Thursday or Friday? Wherever the heck he was hitting from, was he hitting like behind the bush or behind some trees or something? He hooked it around, put it within like 50, 55 feet out,
Nailed
on
it.
the green and made his birdie putt. Because why not?
It's just Jordan Spieth.
Yeah, he's so.
I don't know. Did he finish third, fourth, something like that?
Yeah, somewhere in the top five. Unfortunately, while him, like Scotty Scheffler and all the other guys who were chasing Thomas Dietrich, they couldn't get anything going, like continual going to the back
Right.
nine, and Dietrich just never flinched, and I think he birdied the last 4 holes. Like, that's how you win in style.
Yeah. You don't give him a chance, and he
No,
did not give them a chance.
no. And then got a pretty packed event. It's one of the PGA's signature events. It's the Genesis
Yeah.
Open. It's actually taking place in Torrey Pines again because of the
Okay.
wildfires and all that fun stuff. It
Yep.
was supposed to be Tiger's season debut, but unfortunately, as we talked about last week with his mom passing away, he's still not, and rightfully so, he's not ready to compete yet.
Right. Can't blame the guy.
No, you cannot. But positive note though, it was fun just watching Spieth in contention again. It's just
I think we've said, me and you have discussed, I know he's probably the second or third biggest draw in golf.
yeah, like I think it just depends on the day between him and Rory. In all honesty,
Yeah.
I mean Tiger's obviously number one, but yeah.
Yeah.
it's Spieth or Rory.
Those days are going to be few and far between for him to be drawing the big crowds anymore,
Yeah.
unless Charlie's starting to emerge.
Can you imagine if Tiger caddies for Charlie?
Oh, that. Can you imagine that on caddying for him on his first PGA Tour win at Augusta?
Oh my gosh! And then they share the big hug, like Tiger gave his dad, and like Tiger gave Charlie after he won his last Masters, and then it makes grown men cry, and we're getting way too far down a rabbit hole, but it's like, oh,
I can see it.
I can
picture it clearly.
Do you think Charlie could lift up Tiger though?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's getting pretty
Oh
tall.
yeah.
He's getting pretty tall and pretty.
I want to see a recreation. What I want to see is the recreation of Tiger and John Daly.
Oh my god!
But I want to see the sons, both
Charlie
of them.
and John Jr. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! Oh, that'd be funny. I think
You know,
I think
like
we'll get there eventually. I don't think John
you know
Jr.
the
though is as
meme.
quite as I don't think he's quite the wild
Oh
child
God, no,
that his dad is, but
no, I don't. I think he's learned from his dad a little bit.
yeah, hopefully he learns not to be at the casino till 2 o'clock before he has to go off for a tea time. But that's why we love
Word
John
for
Daly.
Daly though.
Yeah, yeah,
He's a
that's
man
why
of the people.
yep, that's why we love John Daly. So,
Yeah.
Cody, you have any other sports you want to touch on at all?
Let's see. Touch on the wrestling.
Yep.
Oh, did I? I didn't say Jax Forrest was the next big recruit in college wrestling. He was one of the top. I was one of the top four teams for him. He committed to Oklahoma State, so
Oh, okay.
it's good. It's good for wrestling. I think Oklahoma State now has the number one recruiting class for
It's
the
basically
2026
it's
season.
basically a draft
It
class. I
is.
mean, the way the stuff is like the Wild West now.
But it's kind of cool to me that to see guy Bo Bassett and him, both high school teammates, going to their favorite colleges, like from when they were kids.
Okay.
That's a cool story. Like,
Oh yeah.
and it's good for wrestling to get more teams to have good wrestlers. Like, not all of them to go to Penn State and then just make it okay. Who we're competing for second? I want to see some teams competing. Of course, I want Iowa to be the number one team, but I want to see some close seconds and thirds, and I
Hmm.
just want to see tight team races and duels that you don't know that Penn State's going to win walking away with.
Again,
So,
it helps grow the sport.
grow wrestling for sure.
So, Cody, you ready to talk about the big game? Do you want to talk about football?
Thought you'd never ask.
Well, that was a game. That's I don't know. I don't know where to start. That's about all I got right now.
We can start with let's see, the fact that we have a pest right off the bat.
Oh, that is true.
So our weekly uh, pest of the week comes from Decor Pest Control, where Cass will offer you residential and commercial pest control for earwigs, cockroaches, ants, bedbugs, fleas, bees, box elder bugs, termites, and then he also treats for mice and rats. And he is certified termite inspector. Call Cass at 563-419-3251 and tell him the boys at Decor Pest Control, or tell him the boys at Unrelated Sports Podcast sent you. And make sure right now he's got a giveaway going, or appreciation going on. Like his Facebook page, and you can win a shirt. Just follow the instructions on the t-shirt giveaway.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, Cody, what's always been my biggest thing in the Super Bowl, or especially more so when we get to playoff games, but especially in the Super Bowl? What's one of my biggest things?
The refs, let them play the game.
Thank you. And unfortunately, and this scared me as soon as they announced that Ron Tolbert was going to be the head official for the Super Bowl. Yeah, they didn't let him do that, and they set the tone from the get go.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like, how do I make this game about me?
yep, because I mean, AJ Brown got called for a offensive pass interference that was ticky tack at best. Like, I don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
did he hit? Was it McDuffie in the face?
Yes.
But they were both hand fighting, and
It
then
didn't change the trajectory of anything. Like,
I don't know. And then
yeah.
what was it? Didn't the Chiefs get hit, called for like an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty or something like that? Like, or a late hit on, I think it was the Chiefs, wasn't it? Or was it vice versa? Or was it Philly got called for that?
I don't remember.
I can look quick. But regardless, I mean, one of my favorite Super Bowls of all time was the second Eagles Patriots Super Bowl. Gene Steratore was the head ref. That was his last game as head ref, or as a NFL referee before he got taken away to CBS. But I think the only time we heard his name was on a couple reviews. That was it.
Yeah.
Like a couple, the whole, oh, what's a catch, what's not a catch, yada yada yada
Like,
yada.
yeah. You have to, the big things, you have to be there. But like, it's the Super Bowl. You let them play the game. You do
Yeah.
not want to slow down the pace of the game. You don't want to mess up anything, really.
Okay,
Like,
so
yes, big calls
I think that
need to be
unnecessary
called.
roughness, yeah, it was on Kansas City because they stopped
Okay.
Philly on a third down, and McDuffie got called for
Oh,
unsportsmanlike conduct or
yep.
unnecessary roughness. Sorry. Yeah, and then after that, floodgates open for Philly. They go down. Hurts throws the dime to Jahan Dotson on the right side, and then the tush push happens, and then Philly just kept steamrolling, basically.
They did. Cooper DeJean got a pick six.
His first career interception too, by the way.
It was his first interception?
I thought that's what they said on the broadcast. Yeah,
Wow. First career interception is a pick six in the Super Bowl against
Patrick
one of the
Mahomes
greatest quarterbacks ever
on his birthday.
on his 22nd birthday.
Like
This is a guy
that's
that they said wasn't going to be able to play in the NFL or that he should convert to safety. Do you know how many touchdowns he gave up this season?
0, I believe, right?
You were correct.
Yeah, and I will say I know there are some Packers people that are mad that the Packers didn't draft him. Which don't get me wrong, he played awesome. Would have been cool to have a defensive back like that. It also helps when your defensive front just mauls the offensive line. Bless you.
It does help. Like you saw the turnstiles of the Kansas City Chiefs offensive linemen. Like they got manhandled.
Yeah, it was like Josh Sweat. I thought was going to end up being Super Bowl MVP because he had 2.5 sacks, a strip sack. Like you couldn't go wrong with whoever you chose. In all
No,
honesty, it was just one of those. Um, but I was
I
telling
did see that
oh, go ahead.
Cooper DeJean led the fan vote,
Really?
which
Okay, that makes sense.
yes,
I mean,
which it's 25% of the vote goes to the fan vote.
okay. I bet in the state of Iowa, probably there were a lot of votes that coming in from there.
I'm sure of it.
Um, but the one thing I'll say about Mahomes, Cody, what do we always say about him? When does he always play at his best? Or in our mind, like as a legit quarterback, when does he play at his best?
When he's hurt
Yeah, basically.
or when
Yeah,
he's yeah,
limited in a sense.
yes.
There were parts of that game where I was thinking, where when I was watching, that it crossed my mind that if he's actually hurt, I think they play better because there were many times where the pocket, maybe it's because with the pressure getting to him, his internal clock got shorter and shorter. But there were
Yes.
so many times where he bailed on a pocket where he really didn't need to. And like if he was kind of gimpy, I think they would have had a better game plan.
He put himself in a couple of the sacks.
Oh yeah. Like again, when he's trying to be Superman and trying to run around and make the hero play and then
Hey,
oh,
can we make a pause?
yes, we can. We will be back after this commercial break. And we're back. So, I think what were we talking about? We were talking about the
Mahomes being
yeah.
flustered and how he plays better not, or
Yeah.
plays better from limited.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, because how many times did he rolled out? He tried to make the whole Superman play, and that was just like
Didn't
not
work
gonna
out.
happen.
Like yes, his offensive line was terrible and got him hit a lot,
Mhm.
but a couple of those he walked himself into trouble, and
Yep.
um, that's the way. I'm not bashing him because of it because like Tom Brady did the same thing. If you hit Tom Brady a few times in the face, like that's when he was at his worst every time.
Yep.
Mahomes is the same animal. Like they're not used to getting hit like they were.
Mm-mm.
He was
Well,
rattled.
basically every Superman has his kryptonite, correct?
Yeah.
And Patty's is unfortunately when he can't play Superman, like rolling out, making the crazy plays. when his offensive line's getting bullied up front, it's lights out from there.
Yeah,
But you know the thing I did not get? Kansas City's running backs each carried the ball 3 times.
that's
Like,
not good.
and I think like some of like Pacheco's was like when the game was basically out of reach already. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
I'm.
understand. Oh, go ahead.
Were there many screenplays?
No, they ran a couple
Which is,
RPOs to Worthy early too. It's like everything that had worked for Kansas City either this year or just the last couple of years, like they went away from that. They tried to go back to let Mahomes
well,
play hero ball the whole time.
your offensive line's getting beat up like that. One of the best things to do is to run a screen.
You would think, but yeah,
I'm
it's like,
not trying to like Andy Reid's one of the greatest play callers of all time, but like,
but every now and again though, even the greatest play callers get outcoached, and he got. I mean, Vic Fangio ate his money last on Sunday night.
um,
Wait, Cody, why are you mad about that?
not he definitely wasn't the offensive or the defensive coordinator for the Dolphins for 2 years, and
And then they let him go because he might have been coaching too hard, apparently.
yeah, because the Dolphins players were too soft. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Part of it, I think he always wanted to go back to because he almost didn't take the Dolphins job because he wanted to go to Philly. But
okay.
I think that might have had something to do with it. But yeah, I'm not bitter.
Yeah, okay. I see. Um, but and you know the crazy thing is
The
though.
thing he did it
Oh, go ahead.
without blitzing,
Yeah, I was just about to say that. How many like Mahomes had 40 something dropbacks or whatever, and they blitzed 0 times.
and he was
That's kind of
pressured
good.
on 50% of them.
Yeah, something like that. It
Something
was an
crazy.
insane number. Like that's a good winning formula right there. Just don't blitz,
Yeah.
set, and that's how like DeJean's able to stay back in coverage. How Reed Blankenship, Zach Bond, CJ Gardner Johnson, all their defensive backs are able basically just to kind of sit back on whatever they want to because you have 7 in coverage and you're only rushing 4. Like
Yeah.
I did find it funny though, and I know they were trying it a couple times during the early parts of the game. It's just that Mahomes got sacked. But when Mahomes finally had some time against the backups, and he unleashed just the cannons to Worthy downfield, it's like there were a couple times I know they wanted to try it. He just never got a chance to actually unload it, and I really wanted him to do it because I wanted to see how far he could throw that football.
Yeah. I bet it's a long ways.
Yeah, but like over the mountains, maybe.
Uncle
Um,
Rico.
yeah. I did find it funny too. AJ Brown's throwing his hissy fit when they're like up 17 or whatever they were up, and the next thing you know, they're down by the at like the 5 yard line or whatever. And then they run him on a little mesh route, and he gets his touchdown, and then everything's all right in the world.
Yep. All good now.
Yeah,
And then, like you said to me, I think it was off this. Their other wide receiver. He's not as good. Okay, maybe he's
yeah,
number 2 in the league, 3 in the league. I don't know.
yeah. He's only a Heisman winner too. That's it. He
Yeah,
wins every freaking where he goes. But
but he doesn't complain.
no, I mean
He
Devontae Smith.
just
I think he
balls.
he says about 3 words. That's it. And then and the funny
Where
part
would you
is,
rank? Where would you rank him in the wide
ooh,
receivers? One is I still say one is Jefferson. 2 is probably Chase.
yeah, 3.
3 is CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. And then I don't I don't know, the 4 on down gets murky just because you could say like Amon-Ra St. Brown, you could say Terry McLaurin, um you could even say Drake London, honestly, the way how he played this year, like or Mike
That's true.
Evans, who we never want to say is a top 5 wideout, but his stats say otherwise.
That's true.
Um
Tyreek, you could say at times,
yeah,
not so much this year, but
yeah. I mean, Devontae's
um,
taken a step back as much as that pains me to say, but he's not in the top 5 anymore.
no,
Um
but like I would say he's better. I think he's better. If I'm starting a team, I'm taking him over AJ Brown. Honestly,
are you taking him over George Pickens?
yes.
Okay. I would too. Um
Would you take him over AJ Brown?
yes. I really do. I don't know. When you play at Alabama, where there's like a bajillion mouths to feed, you're gonna have to humble yourself a little bit, knowing that hey,
Yep.
I'm not gonna get the ball, or I might not be totally the best wide receiver on that team. But when you watch him, and it's like, oh, yeah, he can just kind of do whatever he wants because he's all arms, and yeah, and the thing is, he just needs to be given the ball more. But when you have AJ Brown who demands the ball on the other side, it's
Yeah.
kind of hard. But yeah, he's just the Slim Reaper. He's just so good.
I wonder how much of their team do they lose this year?
Not a lot. The only
They,
the only parts that they might lose Mekhi Becton, their right guard, which they just shuffle in. I mean, look, they drafted Jordan Mailata out of Australia, and now he's like one of the best left tackles in the game.
yeah,
Um, they might lose Zach Bond, their stud middle linebacker that they
they
got
had to
from the
pick.
Rams, and then
But he had like a defensive player of the year
oh yeah,
worthy season.
yeah,
He's just not a big name, which is crazy because he should be.
and then I think they think Josh Sweat is actually a free agent too. They lost a few
Okay.
pieces. But there's some rumors going around that they might trade for I don't know Miles Garrett, which yeah, that's exactly what they need. You
Oh
pair him with
God.
Jalen Carter, and that's going to be a killer defensive duo.
Wow, that'd
Um,
be terrifying.
yeah, that's one of the rich get richer type deals. But the crazy thing is, I was watching I think it was SportsCenter Monday morning. Is either that or I was watching that at Sunday night after the Super Bowl, and they had the odds for already for this year's Super Bowl, and Philadelphia was the third favorite behind Baltimore and Kansas City. Like they
That's
just demolished Kansas City, and Baltimore still hasn't gotten there at all. Like just the
that's
disrespect.
disrespect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Like if it would have been like a really close game,
oh yeah, totally wouldn't understood.
a little
Would
bit
have understood.
understandable. But they ate their lunch and stole the money in
Co-
front of them.
Cody, when was the last time you've seen backups getting to play in the Super Bowl? Like willingly getting to play in the Super Bowl? Like probably maybe the Denver Seattle beatdown. Like maybe that's about the only other.
Yeah.
That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. Because I mean, this game
Wow.
was never close. Like
No.
it was a
Yeah,
absolute beatdown.
it they won by 22 and it wasn't even that close.
No, I mean it was
And
what 40-0
22 is up
or 34-0.
34-6. Yeah, 34 nothing. Yeah, 34 nothing
Yeah,
when Mahomes threw his first touchdown.
yeah. Like and then Jake Elliott. I mean, for as shaky as he had been throughout this whole season, and I mean he was one of my big question marks coming into the Super Bowl. Every kick that he made just was straight down Broadway and could have been good from like
Yeah.
70.
I mean, almost or every extra point he kicked went into the stands over the net.
Yeah,
And
I
he kicked a
guess.
lot of extra points.
Yeah, just a few, just a few, and then he decided to also just end it with a 50-yard bomb. Yeah, I mean, kudos to Philly. Kudos to Jalen Hurts for winning MVP. He basically played a near perfect game.
For the second Super Bowl in a row.
Yeah,
All right.
and
Second Super Bowl that he's played in a row.
yes, correct. And then I mean, Saquon didn't do anything. He had 57 rushing yards. I just looked, and then I
Yeah.
think maybe 20 receiving yards, something like that. Like he didn't do anything really, but
He got him there.
yeah. Oh, he did, and then the rest of the team said, "Okay, we're gonna lessen all the pressure
We
off your
got you.
back," and yeah, I really
And
think.
dude,
Oh, go ahead.
Saquon's one of the best people in football.
Oh yeah,
Like he's not gonna mind because he's like, do you want to take a record or do you want to let the other guys play? I'll let them play. Like that's
yeah.
the kind of guy he is.
I know. And then
God,
hey, him and Cooper DeJean got cake from Chris Bourbon
nice
after the game. So good.
birthday
That's going to
cake.
be a very memorable birthday for both of those
I'm
teams.
gonna say that they're gonna have a really hard time topping this birthday.
Yeah. Now the one question and this just popped in my head. So Kellen Moore, the Eagles OC, is leaving to be the Saints head coach.
Yep,
How big of a loss is
that's a big.
that?
That's a pretty big loss. Don't get me wrong, Sirianni's done a fantastic job. I hate him,
Yeah.
but he has done he is the right guy for that that organization.
That
Um,
city, I think. Again,
yes.
he fits that city to a T.
I mean, they'll find somebody that it's not going to be impossible. They have a lot of very good pieces. They
Yeah, just a few. Hey, I will say it's funny because you texted this to me, but I think even before the game was over. But the two coaches who people were saying were going to get fired won a national championship and a Super Bowl.
yeah, like people were saying that late in the seasons of very good seasons. People were like, if Ryan
Yep.
Day loses early in the playoffs, he's done. He just
Yeah.
goes
Yeah. If the
on
Eagles
and
lose to the
wins a
Packers in the
natty.
first round of the playoff, Sirianni,
Sirianni's
he's
done.
gone. Which I don't. If I remember right back to my preseason predictions, I said Sirianni was going to get fired after the year. So, oops, I was a little off on that.
I also want to let you know that every time I say Sirianni, my phone lights up because it thinks I'm saying Siri.
Nice, nice. I yeah, I really still can't believe that it was that big of a beatdown. Like, in all
No,
honesty, this is what I thought was going to happen 2 years ago. Like, I thought Philly's offensive and defensive lines were going to maul Kansas City, but obviously that didn't happen. And then Mahomes put on the cape. And this year it was like, nope, not going to happen.
they uh they blocked him from being able to grab said cape.
Yeah, they were throwing all the kryptonite at him, and that was all she wrote.
I saw like some tweets of like they're going at with the Donald Trump strategy, making this too big to rig. Like they got too big of a lead for the refs to
Yeah,
be able to take it from them.
which I mean, after the first officiating call, the
Oh, I
offensive
thought it was.
PI,
I was like, here we go.
yeah, but then went back. The pendulum swung the other way, and kind of that BS unnecessary roughness call, and then I don't know. Then I still don't know what that crew was thinking. Like, so many flags. It was not fun with flags. It was not. So, Cody, we made it through another NFL season.
Yeah. Now what? Thank goodness for me. Like I'm still happy for the next couple months for sure with wrestling. Kind of the heart of the Big Ten schedule right now.
Mm.
That's always fun for me. But yeah.
I mean,
And then I don't know what.
I'm happy, obviously, because
NASCAR's coming back.
NASCAR's come back. Then give it about a month, and it's March Madness, and then
Yep.
it's opening day for baseball, and then 58 days from now it's the Masters. Or I'm sorry, the Masters. Got to say it in the golf voice. Thank you. And then then we'll be golfing again.
Yes.
So we got the prestigious Wider Cup.
Yep. Can't wait for that. I was actually thinking about that today. Um,
I know every once in a while I still you got to practice your golf swing even when you're not with a golf club. So
oh, yeah. Anytime I
um
get a stick in my hand of any kind, I'm
yeah, and then the draft is what, late April, early May in Green Bay.
yeah.
So it's
And I'll have
going.
another kid, between that time sometime too. So
Yeah,
we'll, the unrelated sports podcast brand will grow by another member.
yeah, because you're having a pumpkin.
Exactly. Jack O' Lantern.
Yeah, and as I said, I think then you guys need to go see Incredibles for Halloween.
I discussed that with Courtney, and it'd actually be perfect for us because Abby. I mean, it's the same order. Like there's like
Mm-hmm.
age gap between Violet and
Dash.
what is Dash.
Yep.
There's a pretty significant age gap, and then there's a small one between Dash and Jack, but not big, not as big.
Yeah.
It works out on many levels.
Just hopefully your new baby doesn't turn into a fireball.
I hope not, but if he's anything like his mother, we're screwed.
I would say more like your father, like his father. But okay.
Whatever.
Um. So yeah. So anything else you want to touch on before we dive into our top five? I'm trying to think if there's any other football news. The only thing I did see, apparently the Jets have said if Rodgers wants to come back, he can't be on the Pat McAfee show anymore.
Or I thought they kind of announced that he's not coming back.
I think they did, but I think maybe that's why they said that, hey, if you want to come back, you can't be on the show anymore. And I think he said no.
Ah, that makes sense.
Don't worry, he'll be in Minnesota in about, what, 2 months?
It wouldn't be unheard of at this point.
I mean, Cody, I've seen this movie before. Ashton keeps saying if it does happen, we need to go back and find the clip from when I initially said this, because I've been trying to speak it into existence for like the last year and a half, basically.
Yeah.
So don't worry. Well,
Hmm.
I'll do some digging, and then we can take our claim to fame as the first people that called it.
Sounds good to me. Are we missing a segment? We have our top 5 coming up.
Yeah, I mean we don't have
What's
any
the other one?
we don't have any picks because I won the last round.
Oh,
So
that's right. I don't
yeah,
have a pick segment.
so I get to hold that title. At least in the one
You
game
don't
I
have a
won the
title.
battle. Okay, you won the war. I just get to hold the title, winning the last battle for 6 months.
Yeah, hold on to whatever you got to, Andy. You were decimated this year.
I was, but I can hold on to a little bit of pride. It's a little bit of pride that I have.
It used to be Pride Month, I guess, so I'll give you that.
Oh, okay. Val, valid point.
Was that for February?
I have no idea. Your guess is good as mine.
Anyway.
But yeah. So, would you like to dive into our top 5, sir?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. So, before we dive into our top 5, just a reminder to all of our listeners out there that our weekly top 5 segment is brought to you by the boys at Lick Tags Lawn Care, your home for all of your lawn and snow removal needs.
Might need them tomorrow.
Yeah, Snowmageddon, here we come. It's I don't know how much snow they're talking, Cody, but it's
I saw it go from 1 to 3 to 2 to 5 now, so.
great.
And then
Great.
supposed to get some more on maybe
Saturday.
Friday.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday.
Friday
I'm sure
night,
everybody
Saturday.
will handle that all rationally, so that's good.
Exactly.
But if you're having some problems with your getting your snowblower all fired up or have any questions, give the guys at Lick Tags a call at 563-203-4238 and tell them that the boys at the Unrelated Sports Podcast, that'd be us, sent you there.
Yay.
Yes. So, Cody, how can I put this kindly? I don't really think there were a lot of memorable plays from this year's Super Bowl, minus maybe for us Iowans, the DeGene pick six.
Yep.
In all honesty. But that doesn't mean that in past Super Bowls there haven't been memorable plays that we will remember. So that is our top 5 for this week.
Top 5 memorable plays. I'm just going off of Super Bowl memories that I have, plays that stuck out in history, I guess.
Yep. And we briefly did go over this list. We briefly went over this list just to make sure that we're not having any copycats. So.
Yep. So I'm going to start with number 5. I hated it, but it was pretty memorable because it was one of the greatest plays I've ever seen. Edelman's double catch against the Falcons. The fact that he was able to catch that, lose it, and catch it again in such a short span of time was nothing short of miraculous.
Yeah.
That's my biggest, this is how you know the NFL isn't scripted, because no person should be able. They couldn't script that. That is impossible to do.
Well, and especially it comes the drive after Julio makes that insane toe tap on the right sideline, where it's like the Marcus Page shot against Villanova in the national championship game. Nobody remembers that because of what happens next. Edelman makes that catch, and then in the case of the basketball game, Chris Jenkins comes down and hits a buzzer beater for the win.
Yeah, because Julio didn't score on that, right?
No, because I think did they kick a field goal, or is that when Dante Hightower had the strip sack? I honestly can't remember what happened.
I can't remember, but I will say that Devontae Smith was the first Alabama player ever drafted to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so a white corner scored a touchdown before a player from Alabama scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Isn't that crazy to think of? With how many good wide receivers have come out of Alabama, or how many good players have come out of Alabama?
Mark Ingram, for example. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
when he went to New Orleans, I guess they weren't in this. They weren't in the Super Bowl at all since then.
No, but
But
I mean,
yeah,
King Henry
regardless,
was been there. Like, just the fact that there's been Julio. I mean,
yeah. Which because Ashton, or I think when he heard that, I think because we were discussing that, yeah, in that Super Bowl, Tevin Coleman scored twice, or he scored once. Devontae Freeman scored twice, and Austin Hooper scored once. Those were the touchdowns for Atlanta in that Super Bowl. Like Julio didn't score at all, which is insane.
and you got how many quarterbacks do you have um in the Super Bowl
Yeah,
from
that's
out?
true.
Because to be fair, uh, what was I just gonna say?
I
I'm
know.
drunk.
We're talking about Alabama.
Oh yeah. Jalen Hurts did go to Alabama, but he was not drafted out of Alabama.
That's true. Drafted out of Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, or like I mean Bart Starr or Joe Namath even back in the day. They never had any rushing touchdowns during their Super Bowls. So yeah, that is a crazy stat. I would never have guessed that.
Fun stuff.
Okay, so my number 5, I can't believe I'm gonna put this one in there. I'm gonna put a bear in there, a Bears play. Devin Hester's kickoff return for a touchdown to
Oh,
start the
that was sweet.
'06 Super Bowl.
That was
Um,
sweet.
yeah, the one guy you can't kick it to. I mean, it's a one guy. It's a one reason why basically the Bears were there in the first place, and Vinatieri kicks it to Hester, and then Devin Hester's seen the end zone. Like that. I mean, it was a one bright spot for the Bears during that Super Bowl, but it's, there's a reason the dude because he got inducted in the Hall of Fame, right? I think.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason he's a primary returner that's in the Hall of Fame. He changed the return game.
For sure. Without a doubt.
So,
All right. My number 4, and this is one like I vaguely remember, it just pops out in my head, was in the Packers, I think, was it 98, 99?
97, 98 season,
Okay.
however you want to look at it.
The John Elway helicopter. Uh,
Yeah. I mean, he didn't score on the play, but he got down to like the 2. But yeah,
yeah,
it's an iconic Super Bowl play
he got
or image, I
he
should say.
got lit up.
He did. But I mean, when he had never won a Super Bowl, it was kind of near John's last chances. And
Yeah,
you do that against the defending champs who were, I think, like 2 touchdown favorites or double digit favorites. And yeah, they took it to Green Bay. And that
they
one
did.
hurts. That's their only Super Bowl that the Packers have lost. But it hurts here. It does just a little bit. But still such a cool play, though.
It was a cool play.
Let's see. My number
I remember
4.
watching
Oh,
that
go ahead.
in my parents' friend's basement. I can still vividly remember where I was, and that
Nice.
was like same place I watched like the Budweiser Budweiser
Oh, yep,
commercials.
okay.
The frogs.
Okay. Yep. I know what you're talking about. My number 4, we're gonna go back. Shoot, this was what, 8 years ago? 9 years ago? Yeah, 8 years ago. How about you want to call Philly? The Philly special, like iconic in
That was
Philly
such a
lore.
great game.
Did you see what Nick Foles tweeted after?
I
the
did.
game, by the
That
way?
was fantastic.
Yeah, it is kind of funny that you can angle that both ways. That Philly has won both their Super Bowls at Tom Brady's expense, with him being in attendance for the second one.
Yep.
But also, Mahomes' 2 worst games in the Super Bowl have come with Tom Brady in attendance.
Tom Brady. Yeah, that was sweet. That was also I'm gonna give a shout out to Cass because I watched that game with Cass from Decor Pest Control, and that was the game where the guy we watched it with did not have TV, and we ended up watching like a YouTube version, or we watching it through YouTube in like Swedish.
Oh my
It
gosh!
was so strange.
How do you host a Super Bowl or have
How do
people
you
over to watch the
host the
Super
Super
Bowl
Bowl and not
without
have?
the Super
It
Bowl?
was crazy.
But yeah, I mean, it's the funniest part too about the Foles catch was the fact that the Patriots ran a trick play to Tommy earlier in the game and he dropped it, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh boy. Still one of
I
the
almost had it.
craziest Super Bowl runs of all time, though. I mean,
Oh yeah.
with Foles, it's just how stuff. It's like the switch
Is
flipped
it
like that.
isn't it crazy that Carson Wentz was the backup for the losing team in this one?
Yeah. That. Yeah. I know my buddy Brian enjoyed that, so that was good.
Congrats to you, Brian.
Mhm.
Um, my number three is actually I just remember Tim Dwight running back a kick return in the Super Bowl as a Falcon.
Yeah, it was
I
actually the
think
following year after the Elway, because Denver went back to back. They beat Green Bay.
yeah.
The following year, they go back and they beat Atlanta, who that's when they beat Minnesota because Minnesota missed a field goal.
Oh,
Gary Anderson.
yeah. Not Vikings fans' favorite moment.
No, no. Just ask Marshall Erickson. So,
Nice.
but yeah, that was probably
Uh,
like one of the Falcons' only bright spots of that game too.
yep.
So, hey, by the way, go Hawks.
Tim Dwight ran it in backwards. I remember he says afterwards that he regretted that, but in the moment it was awesome.
Why not? It's a Super Bowl. I mean,
Right.
okay. My number three. It's a play that actually can't even happen right now. It's Sean Payton's decision for the surprise
Yeah.
onside kick to start the second half because
That was
kickoffs are no longer fun, so you can't have that.
yeah,
Um,
that was like look at the Chiefs literally couldn't have.
oh, I know. That's why when I was telling Ashton that they scored too. I think it was their first touchdown. They scored too quick because they scored, or maybe they waited because they scored outside of the third, or still inside of the third quarter.
Yeah.
Like you have to wait till the fourth quarter to before you can do all the onside
Nope.
kicks, which is stupid. Um,
They're taking a page out of NASCAR's book and just trying to
fix something that
be as
isn't
stupid as
broke.
possible.
I
Yeah.
know, I know, but yeah, I mean the Payton onside kick, the stones that it took to make that call, um, and it changed. I mean, it completely changed the momentum of that game, and then later on, Tracy Porter has a pick six on Payton, and that's all she wrote.
Yep.
So Tracy Porter,
Insane.
Indiana guy, by the way, but just had to get that out there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for. You have a number two, sir?
I do.
Okay.
Numero dos was the St. Louis Rams versus the Tennessee Titans, one of the greatest Super Bowls ever. Came
Mhm.
down to the final play where Mike Jones, who
Tackled Kevin Dyson 1 yard short.
I was hoping you would say the singer Mike Jones. He always says Mike Jones, who Mike Jones. Anyway, yes.
I don't get it. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, that's what I get for trusting in you.
You know I'm culturally inept at times.
You're just inept. But anyway, yes, that I remember that Super Bowl like crazy. That was one of the first ones that I vividly remember the game.
Oh, I know
Obviously,
that's the first one that I remember.
because I obviously some of those games I talked about were seasons before that, but like
Mm-hmm.
that one was like when I was a football enthusiast by that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. By far and away, that's the first ever Super Bowl that I remember. I remember all of them after that, but yeah, that's the first one that I truly remember. And then MVP Kurt Warner from the University of Northern Iowa.
Yeah, he doesn't claim that.
I know he doesn't. I don't know. I still don't know exactly why, but still,
He's not happy with you and I.
yeah. Do you know why? In all honesty,
No.
do you know why? Yeah, okay. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know why either, but
Maybe because he wasn't their starter. I don't know.
could be. In all honesty, could be. Still the beginning of one of the greatest Hollywood stories, though, in football.
Oh.
I mean, in all honesty.
They did make a movie out of it. I don't know if it was very good, but
I don't know if it was very good either. I haven't seen it.
I haven't either.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, truly one of the more iconic moments, especially one of the greatest Super Bowls like ever.
Yeah. Couldn't get any closer than that.
Oh no, you could. Well, you could. I'm gonna touch on that in a little bit, But so my number two, it's I'm arguably one of my favorite Super Bowl plays. It doesn't even have to deal with the Packers. It's Antoine Randall's touchdown throw to Hines Ward. That's my favorite. I mean, Randall is my favorite college player of all time.
Okay.
I have a really big spot in my heart reserved for him. Except now he's on the Bears, part of their coaching staff. That
Did
hurts a
not
little
know
bit.
that.
But yeah, they ran a little reverse trick play where he throws the ball then to Hines Ward, and that's how they end up beating Seattle too, kind of running away toward the end of it. But
Yeah. All right. My number one was one of my favorite Super Bowls.
hold on. Can I break in just for one
Oh,
quick second? I think both of our number ones are against people that we really hate, so that adds
that
to our
that
number one.
it does. It definitely, and this helped shut down the undefeated Patriots season. Eli Manning drops back, gets surrounded
Probably
somehow.
would have been in the grasp, I think, in today's game.
Yes,
Like
yes. Somehow escapes and chucks it, and David Tyree goes up, high points the ball on his helmet. He does some kind of a catch falling down backwards
on Rodney
on
Harrison, if I
top of
remember
someone.
right. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And holds the ball to his helmet with one hand as doesn't let it touch the ground, makes the catch. They go on to finish the drive with another impressive play.
Yeah.
But
To Plax, I believe, right? I think
to
that's what it was.
Plexico Burris,
Yep.
who ends up, I mean, he went in guns blazing.
Yeah, he did. He let's just say he really shot himself in the foot. Let's just that's how things went. But yeah, I
Actually,
mean,
I'd say the opposite of that.
yeah.
He he made the game-saving touchdown with what 34 seconds left or something like that.
Yes,
Game
something
winning.
like that. And
It was
then I
incredible.
don't know. Then New England, instead of they still has plenty of time to even at least get to a Hail Mary, and I think they just took 4 straight deep balls to Randy. Which hey, shout out
Which
Randy Moss back at NFL Countdown this past
I did
week.
see that. That's awesome.
Like after he just hopefully beat cancer, so that is what we love to hear, love to see.
Yep, for sure.
But yeah, seeing New England get beat. I mean, you know that I was mad because the
I
Packers probably should have been there, but
I legitimately lost my voice in that game.
I was
Probably around that time.
I was yelling pretty loud too. I'm gonna be honest. Just I mean, and
I
because it was the
I
evil
had
empire too, seeing them go down.
I was sitting right over there. Like I remember that back room had the Super Bowl going on, and I was sitting in the kitchen watching it on the big screen. My buddies, we had a bunch of people. I had a bunch of people up here. We were watching it, and I was just freaking out. I had many a great Super Bowl party at this house. I remember seeing Janet Jackson's titty from from that same viewpoint.
See, I hated Super Bowl halftime shows, so I missed that. I did not see that at all.
Yeah, I mean,
I was also
I
9
just
too,
remember my
so maybe if
buddy.
I did see it, I don't remember it.
I just remember my buddy Travis saying, "Was that Janet Jackson's tit?"
Huh.
Like, huh, sure was.
Uh, I'm surprised you didn't have that on your list.
That wasn't really a play in the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's true. That's a memorable moment, but
It was a memorable moment.
yeah, but yeah. The I mean, David Tyree did basically nothing else before or after for his career, and he just one play. That's it.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that at
was
all.
yeah.
It's kind of like the next guy that I'm going to talk about. So late in the 2014 Super Bowl, Seattle's driving. Or actually, they eventually drive because Jermaine Kearse makes some circus catch on the right sideline. Still don't know how he did that. On Malcolm Butler. Fast forward to a couple plays later after Marshawn Lynch runs the ball down New England's throat. And instead of running the ball, Seattle decides to throw. And Malcolm Butler makes probably along with the Mike Jones tackle, the greatest game-saving play in Super Bowl history, where he picks off Russ at the 1 yard line. And then my personal favorite moment from that play is all the Richard Sherman memes that came from that. because I hate Richard Sherman with a passion.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah.
I did not like that moment as much because
Of who? Yeah.
New England won the Super Bowl because of it.
Yeah. I can understand that. I can respect that. See, that's where I was debating on who I wanted to, if I wanted like a meteor just to hit, probably like how a bunch of people did with this year's Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I figured, you know what? If Seattle wins, that's going to make my heart hurt even more because then that should have been Green Bay because that's after they choked away the NFC Championship game. And then just for everything to happen how it did and just seeing Richard Sherman's stupid face, I love that so much. Yeah, so that's my number one.
That's perfect.
Yeah, both of our number ones come from hate or they're
Yeah,
hatred filled, which is
definitely.
good.
Yeah. Let the hate flow through you.
Yeah. So that is our last top five for the football season.
Oh, sad day.
It is sad, but Cody, don't worry. 5 days until Daytona, weather permitting. 5 days.
3 days till Iowa, Minnesota.
Can look at that. Look at it that way too. In 58 days till the Masters.
I will look forward to that too.
Yeah. And I don't know, probably what, month and a half until a very important day in your life.
Yeah,
Somewhere in that ballpark.
getting there. Yeah.
So we're gonna do the podcast live from the hospital then, right?
Yeah, if we have to. I don't.
Okay. Okay, good. Hey, I'm pretty sure Courtney will be all right with
Courtney, keep it down.
that. Yeah. Again, I don't see anything bad happening with that again at all.
No, definitely would never hear about that every day for the rest of my life.
No, not at all. So on that note, is there anything else you would like to add to this wonderful episode at all?
Well, first of all, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, rate 5 stars. Were there any fullbacks in this Super Bowl?
I thought I saw one Philadelphia fullback, like on like one play. It's like I think he wore 42.
Perfect. Thank God.
Yeah, but you know what? That would explain why their run game was garbage. Like they had no fullback at all.
It's true.
Because again,
Because you
fullbacks.
remember, fullbacks are people too.
Yes, they are. Most important position on the football field.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Cody, it's a fact. We both know this.
It is.
It's
I
more
don't know
important
why
than
I'm
quarter.
questioning
It's
it.
more important than quarterback. So we both know that.
For sure.
But yes, as you heard my partner in crime say, fullbacks are indeed people too. Thank you everybody for listening, and we will catch you next week.
Yeah. Have a good night, everybody. Peace.